How we doing, boys and girls? Good morning. Welcome in. Welcome. Time to play some video games. Yes. Coffee at the ready. I think the Twitch drops are on. I think it's active. I also hope I've done at least something to combat the echo situation in here. Move the desk around as you said you were going to. I'm going to try a few different spots. I've not decided. The number one priority is where does the desk go? When I've worked out where the desk goes, then the rest of the studio gets built around it. But I don't necessarily know exactly where I want the desk long term. So we'll try a few spots over the next few days. This is, we were over there last time. So I swung it all round, but I've got a real echo problem. I've got the most ghetto setup on the go right now. You guys probably can't easily see, but I've got we've got a big outdoor furniture set, like a two-seater sofa and stuff, and it has like massive, great big pillows. So I was like, you know what? You know what's really good at combating echo? Wham! Great big cushions. So I've got those all over the place. So hopefully it doesn't sound like I'm actually streaming from a warehouse. But no sun in your face is important. Well, yeah, I haven't got a window right in front of me, which is crucial. I got my lights doing the thing. We can do some fancy stuff. I don't know. I've not quite decided. The other option, the only other option, is over there. There's a good chance the stream setup might end up over there. So we'll see. Combating echo. I thought you joined echo, not that echo. The sound reverberation problem. But welcome in, boys and girls. Hope we're all doing well. It's Thursday, right? Yeah, it's Thursday. I lose track of time at the moment. Firstly, I want to say how yesterday's video did. Let's take a little bit of a looky. How did yesterday's video do? I'm not sure I can actually showcase the YouTube dashboard behind the scenes. It gives away too much information. But okay, over 7k views, not too bad. I'll take that. Wow, check out that click-through rate, 23% click-through rate. Goes to show, good title, good thumbnail, people watch. Nice to see. That probably helped. I was really concerned, very, very concerned that after not posting a video for 2 weeks, I'd get like 10 views on the video. YouTube is a little unforgiving like that. They tend to turn the tunes down just a touch. They tend to favor the creator that posts frequently over the one that posts infrequently. Unless your name's Mr. Beast, and then you can't do anything wrong because you make the most ridiculous videos on the planet. All right, and cool. Who be this? Kahani, welcome in. Good morning to you.
Sweet profit together.
Oh, why are my alerts coming out of completely? The alerts came out of one of my monitor screens. Oh dear lord. Oh dear lord. Sanity check here then. Can you guys hear the mute? Oh, I'm going to have so many audio problems today. This is what happens when you unplug and plug shit in again. Oh dear. Oh dear. Mateski with the tier 1. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Good morning to you. Moved again. We have done a little bit of a switch. I'm going to try a few different spots over the next few days. The nice thing about having all of your computer stuff, lights, camera, microphone, just clamped to a desk is that you just pick up the desk and you move it. So it's kind of quite easy. Right, I need to check a few settings in OBS then. As for some reason, the alert came out of one of my monitors, which is not meant to happen. Audio. Monitoring device is default. Let's put monitoring device as that one. Let's see if that makes any difference. Or I could have just broken everything. I guess a quick way is I can do a cheeky little test-a-rooney. Maybe possibly alert box test sub.
Does this turn you on?
Hey!
This is a test.
Question is, did you hear that? I heard it, and I heard it in the right place. The question is did you hear it? You did. Nice. Good stuff. Coins and TTS. Nice. Perfecto. Right, well, let's see what happens from there. Monitors with speakers in. Is this 2003? Oh, they are dog shit speakers. Let me just clarify. You know, I could probably whistle a fart more effectively than these speakers.
Both, I hope.
This is a test.
Hey, there we go. An actual test, a real test for tier 1 monies. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Welcome in. All right, should we get some stuff on the go, shall we? Should we see let's get battle.net open. A real test for real money. Magic, right? Overwatch 2 Founders Pack. Yeah, not bothered. Not interested. Maybe tomorrow. Now, this is going to be the big question, isn't it? Where does all of the in-game sound then decide it's going to play from? Let's hope this doesn't go completely cocker-spaniel. So, my priorities for today are quite simple. We've got to get more knowledge points. All the knowledge points. I've decided after my little discussion yesterday about who's going to be the absolute psychopath out there that min-maxes their knowledge points on every profession first. It's not going to be me, but I might give it a good go just for lols. It could be quite funny. Importantly, though, we need to see if we sold most of yesterday's wares. We did a bit of prospecting yesterday, a tinsy bit of prospecting, and in theory, it should have all sold. We should have a nice chunky mailbox from yesterday. 235 items in the mailbox. The question is how much of that is actual monies. 7.6 million. Remember that number. 7.6 million. Remember that. Let's open. Oh, no. 338. Does that mean a whole bunch of stuff is expiring? Well, let's see. 7.6 million. Remember 7.6. Let's open this and see where we get to. Speak and Spell, welcome in. Good morning. Hello, Manthieus chat and new camera angle. Alive, how we doing? Welcome in. Yeah, I'm gonna over the next few days I'm gonna be moving the stream about a few different places until I can find a spot that I like. A spot that I'm happy with, a spot that I'm comfortable with, and then I can build the rest of the studio around it. My real, I have a blank, see, it's both a blessing and a curse, right? I have a blank canvas to play with. A completely blank canvas where I can put the stream wherever it needs to go, and then I can build the rest of the studio around it. Yet, the first thing on that list is obviously working out where the stream needs to go. Where's going to work nicely. I thought here works quite well because that gives me the whole other side of the studio for, like, I don't know, a nice sofa, TV up on the wall, you know, stick a film on or something. Maybe not so much when I'm streaming or making content, but, you know, in the other hours of the day. Make this a bit of an entertainment zone for both me and Mrs. Manthieus and anybody else that wishes to join. I'd go with this location, no sun shining in the face. This has its pros and its cons. It has its pros in terms of the fact that it's got the kitchen bar right next to me. I can do some in with a back wall here. We can put some pictures up or do some in. The ceiling in front of me is actually sloped. So from a sound perspective, it's, you know, a couple of panels just above me on the roof and it's easy game. The downside is I can't expand any further. I have been thinking for a while about getting a standing desk just for the purpose of, you know, healthier living. Where did we get to? TSM says 534,000 gold. 500,000 gold. 534,000 gold. We're up to 8.136 million. The question is, though, is that obviously we've still got a boatload of stuff in our bags that clearly didn't sell. The question is our gold going in the right direction? It doesn't look like it's going anywhere. Spend a bit, make a bit, spend a bit, make a bit, spend a bit, lose a bit more, spend a bit. Okay. Apparently, we started at 8.3 million before I went on a bit of a spending spree. And we dipped as low as 7.2 million, and we have now recuperated back up to 8.1 million. So we're not really going in the right direction. The only thing I would say is that we've spent a bunch, sold a bunch. We're only, what's that, like 100k, 150k shy? But we do still have a bunch of stuff in our bags. I mean, even at 8k a piece, I've got, what's that, 135,000 gold just in these. So selling those alone would get us back to where we started. Now, if we spent, let's call it 1 million gold, it would have really been nice to make 200k profit off that. I think we're good, you know. We got enough random stuff kicking about here that if we go throw this back on the auction house, sanity check here, sanity check. Let's throw it all back up on the auction house and see just what happens. What is the total of everything when we throw it all back up on the auction house? I'm going to do it a little bit manually because I just don't want TSM restrictions in place. Now, the downside is because turnover is king, we may be in the doo-doo ever so slightly because prices will have dipped today, but it's fine. Back to Alliance, I see, or is this still on Draenor? Both, technically. Still Draenor, but switched Alliance just to be... Just to have maximum prospecting skills. And once prospecting is completely dead, I'll switch back to Horde. That's annoying that somebody's just shaved off. Okay, fine. Uh, 30, 20, 23. I mean, that's a fair price. Throw those in there. You're not using Auctionator. I really prefer it for posting stuff like this. I've actually not used Auctionator a whole bunch so far in Dragonflight. Truth be told, I've been keeping my add-ons pretty modest, or as modest as I possibly can. Although I am now in the position where, okay, the process I like to go through is I like to do everything manually, because doing everything manually, whilst slow, teaches you a lot about the market. Once you know everything there is to know about the market and you're happy that you've got control over what's going on, then switch to use a bunch of add-ons. Even say, whoa, what in the Christ on a bicycle's happened here? The same can be said for even Trade Skill Master, right? I don't recommend anybody use Trade Skill Master in any form. Maybe install it for tooltip data, sure, but I wouldn't recommend anybody use things like Auctionator, TSM, even Craft Sim, until you've got a grasp of exactly what the system is doing. And then when it's just, you know, let's shift it, let's move it, let's get stuff sold, then maybe you can rethink it. But Jesus, okay. Whoa, 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 118 Earthshine scales. Hot diggity. Didn't realise we had quite so many of those. If we could sell some of those, we're doing well. Okay, actually, there's so many quality 3 leatherworking intermediates here. I can't possibly believe that we haven't printed a whole bunch of gold over the last few days. Infra scales, there's too many of them to do anything with on those. Woo! Big stacks. There's one add-on I know you do support. Looks to post above mine. Well, yeah, Zygor has been a supporter of the channel for a while. Or let me put it this way. I've been a fan of Zygor for a hell of a long time. Diamonds. Do I just throw all 14 up for the purpose of getting a big number? Yeah, let's just do that real quick. Okay. Outside of just some scuff randomness in here, that's mostly it. So, we were about, what did we say? We said we were about 100k shy of breaking even. From our little, we went from let's just call it 8.3 for the sake of maths, down to 7.2, so 1.1 million. We're back up to 8.13, so yeah, we're 150k off breaking even. Then once you break even, you obviously want to start making a profit, so we got to get up from there. But there's still, even at absolute minimum value, 430,000 gold of stuff. So 130 of that, we made about 300k profit on that, which is actually about where you would hope it to be, right? 25% profit, maybe pushed 30% profit, which is good. Which is nice, right? So, you know, we spent $1 million gold, a little over $1 million gold worth of stuff. We made it into a bunch of other stuff. Now we've gone out there and we've sold it, and we've practically made a token's worth of gold in a day, which is how the system should work, I think. Very nice. Difference with TSM is that with Auctionator, you can see the current auctions in the same window and not only the lowest price. Yeah, I'll have a playtest with all of these as time goes on. Maybe it might be. I also forget that we are at the beginning of a brand new expansion to some degree. I also forget that there's a whole new flurry of people that are actually just new to the game, and so it might not be the worst idea to do some little bit more basic videos on some of the basics, the bare bones, you know. Couple of add-on highlight videos, a couple of sort of basic entry-level theory craft videos, you know, a beginner's guide to goal making series or something like that, considering there's probably a lot of new people to Dragonflight. I made a spreadsheet for my crafts just to understand the nuances. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to. I mean, that obviously does give me a prime opportunity to plug my own cheat sheet. Although I'm going to throw something out there right now that is probably not something that is overly sensible to say, but if you have Craft Sim installed, Craft Sim at face value can show you nearly everything that my cheat sheet can and more, like by a long way. My cheat sheet still only does basic crafting costs, and that was to fill a gap in the market before something like Craft Sim comes along. Craft Sim is the next level on from the cheat sheet for sure, which is probably why going forward I won't really push to do too much of the calculations in the cheat sheet, because Craft Sim can do it for you. And the good thing is Craft Sim shows you ahead of time, before you spend anything, should you be looking to invest into this. It's still very much work in progress. Every time I use it, I find something that I think, this doesn't seem right, or I find something that I question, or I find something that could be improved. But, you know, it's an add-on that's been out 8 weeks, less than. It's incredibly good for what it is in the short period of time that the game's been out. So Craft Sim is a must add-on, I think, for any serious crafter nowadays. Teach them to go farming, please. It's true. It's true. It's, farming is beginner-friendly. Crafting is, like, intermediate. And then flipping and multi-realm and stuff is more advanced. Teaching gold making and crafting philosophy in Dragonflight seems like it'd be helpful for a lot of people in r/WoW economy. The subreddit, the WoW economy subreddit does often, at this sort of period in time, devolve into just what feels like chaos. To anybody that's played the game for a reasonable amount of time, a lot of people look at the WoW economy subreddit and are just like, you're a bunch of morons, what's going on? But it is for many people the very first step into gold making. And the people that are like asking what to a lot of people seem like super basic, super almost stupid questions, they're not, because until you know the answer to something, you don't know the answer. It actually takes a lot of somebody to hunt out a third-party subreddit to type out a question and to post it. So I always try to be mindful of the fact that that's usually people's first step into, the economy and stuff. Probably before people even find the Discords. They've probably watched a few YouTube videos maybe, but I tend to think the subreddit is literally the first step on the ladder, which means the average post, whilst a lot of them seem very low effort, it's because the people are learning, very much so. But you're right, I actually get a lot of video ideas from the WoW economy subreddit because it's a good indication. It's a good indication of what people are looking for, what people are thinking, what are people questioning. What are people having troubles with? What's in there right now? Should we have a little bit of a look? Transfer primal chaos across characters. Hello? The greatest day of crafting is upon us. For a simple 25% taxation, you can transfer primal chaos across characters. That means all those 4th plus alts we couldn't bother doing world quests. Dungeons can be geared. We'll update tonight how this looks in terms of crafting availability. At last I can craft those pesky two-handed... hello? What? Hello? So annoying you can't use guild or personal orders for them. I've got almost 200 on my main and don't need any more crafted gear. What? What? In this scenario, we ask Wowhead, what's going on? What's going on? Link so it didn't happen. Let's just head straight to the news. Known issues and updates with trading post lots. We'll come to that. Transfer primal chaos to alts with a new satchel of coalescing chaos item. A new item is being deployed on live servers that allows primal chaos to be transferred to alts. The Satchel of Coalescing Chaos is a bind-on-account item that costs 80 Primal Chaos and grants 60 Primal Chaos when opened. Oh, a Blizzard tax. It genuinely is a Blizzard tax. How? Oh, lordy lord. Oh, Rabul sells it. Okay. New items being deployed that The satchel can be purchased from Rabul, the Artisans Consortium Quartermaster in Valdrakken. Although the item is sold by a reputation quartermaster, the satchel has no reputation requirements for purchasing. Huh. Okay. Okay. Let's have a looky. Let's have a little bit of a looks. Little looksy round, shall we? Because this has some monstrous... Oh, there we go. Okay. Because this has some monstrous implications for some people. And I'm talking crafters here. The tax is a bit steep. I'm not gonna argue. The tax is a bit steep. To take 80 and turn it into 60 is pretty sharp. Especially considering that, if you take a little bit of look at, if you take a look on your map, for example, if you have a world quest that is going to give you chaos, it might give you like 2. For a 20 chaos tax to transfer it to an alt is... I don't know why Blizzard does this. I I don't know why when they open the floodgates, they don't just open the floodgates. I don't see what the problem is. Since if... I genuinely don't see what the problem is. Is if you as a player have earned those crystals by playing the game. You've put in the time, you've put in the effort, you've received the reward. Now they've opened the floodgates so that you can use them on alts. Just one-to-one it. Why does there need to be a 25% tax? I'm not entirely sure why there needs to be that tax, because you've done it, right? I mean, that's not a crazy thought, right? That you've put in the time, you've put in the effort, whether you've completed the Mythic Pluses, whether you've killed the raid boss, whatever the case is, however you came across your Primal Chaos, you did it. You've done it. Why can you not use that currency on another character when they open the floodgates? It's like they open the door but only let some people through, you know? It's... For the Epic World Quest, it's always 3 Chaos base plus either 2 or gold or gear or something. I mean, either way, it's a 25% tax on it is pretty steep. It's easier to farm with the high-geared main character Chaos inside Mythic Plus instead of collecting them on low-geared characters, which needs way more time. Yeah, but how did you get that super high-geared character in the first place? You put the time and the effort to gear that character up. The gearing up of that initial character would and should allow you to then go and generate more Primal Chaos faster. You've put in the effort, here's the reward. I'm not entirely sure why there's such a need for Blizzard to go, oh yeah, you can do this, but you know, it's a bit odd. It's a bit odd. Hey, it's all good either way, though. Hey, Drizzling Rose, welcome in. How are we doing? Good morning to you. The move is still in progress, but yes, we're back up and running. Thank you very much. Why did I hear a beep in my ears? Did anybody else hear a WhatsApp beep? Oh, I've got WhatsApp open in a tab in Google. That could be why. Quick question. Did any of you guys hear a WhatsApp beep? I don't want you guys hearing Discord beeps and WhatsApp beeps. That's not fair for anybody. You didn't hear it? Didn't hear it? No? Oh, okay. Well, that's good then. That's fine. Let me close that tab down either way. I tried to have my OBS set up in a way that doesn't spam people with, you know, my notifications. Unless it's the TSM sound. Unless it's the we sold something sound. Then you guys can hear that all day long. The reward is for my main, though. Not big on alts. I've got over 1,000 chaoses that I don't even play Mythic Plus that much. Those in my guild who've ran a lot have got like 4k plus. Damn, you bought another house? That was quick. No, we did a 90-degree rotation so I could test out another spot in the studio. Whilst I have a blank canvas available to me, it makes a lot of sense to test things out. TSM sound always gets me. Hey, but I think it's a dopamine kick whether you hear it or you vicariously hear it through me. I think it's still a dopamine kick, which is why I leave it up. I let that one play. Unless you're a real greedy goblin and the sound of somebody else making gold makes your skin crawl, but then that's your problem. It's just jealousy. We have to receive something. Doing things for free is against our nature. Very true. Very true. Well, this is funky then. This is almost video worthy. Just to build on this, the reason this is really quite exciting for crafters is the fact that it's going to open the floodgates for people wanted crafting gear. Only last week we had the Revival Catalyst do its thing. Alts can stroll over there and pretty much instantly get 5 sparks, which removes the barrier to entry, or sorry, removes the bottleneck from sparks, but in turn, all it did is it put the bottleneck on Primal Chaos. With this in place as well now, there's no bottleneck. The floodgates are, well, you know, there's a tax, but the floodgates are 75% open now. People can shuffle around any of that primal chaos from their main characters to their alts. They can very quickly get a handful of sparks, and then they've got the bind-on pickup shit that they need. With that in hand, all it is the cost of the other materials, whether they, you know, farm them up, gather them up to get them cheap, craft them themselves, buy them from the auction house, whatever the case is. With enough gold in your back pocket, you can now pretty quickly equip an alt into reasonable gear. You're not going to get your primal infusions or your concentrated primal infusions, but that does still mean that alts can probably very quickly have a set of, like, I don't know, you could probably get 390 item level almost instantly now. Almost instantly. Let's say you pick up some quality 5 versions of these, which would be what, 392? Yeah, you could get 5 392 items practically instantly. Assuming you have the spare chaos on a main, you can gear an alt very quickly now. This might make it so that people are a little bit more willing to put those public orders in, you know, because one of the big things that I think held people off putting public orders in was twofold. One, because you can't guarantee the quality. People were worried that some nooblet was going to stroll in and make a quality 1 piece of gear for them, which would then be like 10 item levels less than what it could be, and it's a real feels bad, man. Second, being the fact that sparks and chaos were somewhat of a rare commodity, and that if you were going to spend them on a piece of gear, you did really want to make sure that that's actually a piece of gear that you really want, and then that only emphasizes the quality thing. But now, Sparks of Ingenuity, you can just almost farm them. You can get 5 as a, you know, influx from word go. Primal Chaos, if you've got at least a character that can run some reasonably high Mythic Plus, you can practically farm Primal Chaos all day long as well. The bind-on pickup restrictions of crafted gear, basically gone. Basically gone. I think we'll see a much, much bigger influx or uptake of public crafting orders. Now, that's also going to mean that anybody that's in the recraft game is going to have a field day, because people who are offering recrafts can still do their thing. Happy days, you know? We're selling diamonds, by the way, that noise in the background. I know you guys can't quite see. Oh, actually, I've just realised what we probably should do is change this a little bit. When I say change, we should add drops to the list, because drops are on today. Get your goblin weather doodah thing. Mount Summer Breeze, thank you very much for the tier 1. Appreciate it. Welcome in. As mainly a transmuter and bolt crafter, I can totally feel the 30% increase on awakened elements. Have they gone up? 30% increase in the elements? Really?
I have all the time in the Isles.
Is it just people are not farming them right now? They still look pretty cheap to me. Awakened Order at nearly 500 gold. Oh, it was nearly in the 270s in the last week. Oh, okay. Woo, sheesh. Yeah, there's a few actually that are looking kind of skinny. Awakened Fire is running low. Awakened Air is running low. We need a few farmers. We need a few big world quests to stock up the supplies on some of these. Nearly 100k Awakened Earth is fine. 10k Awakened Decay though. That's scary. That's a scary situation. Oof. That could be quite a reset. That could be quite the reset. It'd be even more it would even be more tempting if this son of a gun wasn't here. I feel like you mentioning it is going to make it mean somebody buys it. Well, I have a bit of a running joke that the best way to do a market reset is to fool somebody else into doing it for you. Now, that's never my intention. I do try my best to only showcase things that are at least somewhat reasonable of an idea, whether I then choose to do them or not. But Awakened Decay is relatively low. I would always sanity check some of these with things like Ouroboros Exchange. Ouroboros Exchange. Is it just that, like, huge amounts are just missing? Awakened Decay. Mr. Letter out. There we go. Awakened Decay. Yeah. At the last snapshot, it said there was 11,000. There's now 9,000. Total quantity available was and has frequently been peaking at like 30,000 of it. So there's clearly somebody that holds an awful lot of it. But the interesting thing is that the average price of the stuff, the average price of the Decay has been actually rising, which is a bit of a shock. Oh! When did Ouroboros add heat maps? Haha! He's obviously had his day with the Undermine Journal, but has decided that, oh, look! Ouroboros is leveled up. Ouroboros is leveled up. Daily history for the EU realms. November 29th through till January. Okay. The last 2-week period. Hey, this is we're back up and running, boys and girls. The Decay cloth spot gets a nerf. That's why price is going up. Has it actually been nerfed, or is it just that nobody's farming it anymore? Rousing Decay is also very low. $61,000, which translates into 6,000 awakened. Yeah, am I right in assuming that it was around this sort of point where it got nerfed then? Somebody on WoW Economy made a post about how much better the Undermine Journal was, and the dev put all this in. Oh, I see, okay. Yeah, because it's the same guy that owns both websites. And he's gone as far as to say that the Undermine Journal is practically dead in the, it's practically done now. The code that runs the Undermine Journal is just too old for him to be bothering with. That's why he built the Ouroboros Exchange, because it's, was rebuilt from the ground up. Ouroboros Exchange was kind of, half designed to be Undermine Journal 2.0. That's interesting how the price is fluctuating there, though. Buy the Decay cloth now and unravel that. What's the name of the... See, I don't do much with tailoring. It's Wilder cloth, something Wilder cloth, isn't it? What's the tattered Wilder cloth? Isn't there like there's 3? There's like singed and frostbitten and something else, isn't there? Singed, frostbitten, decayed Wilder cloth. There we go. This stuff. It's interesting to see just how almost in the last week, you usually see a lot more fluctuation in prices. In the last week, both the supply and the price of it has been relatively stable, you know, which is quite surprising. It's quite profitable to unravel that now. I like the fact that some of the professions out there have got these little, these little shuffles to them. Tailoring with its unraveling. Jewel crafting with its prospecting. I'm actually yet to be convinced that milling has value. Although I'm sure there's scribes out there that buy their inks just so that they don't have to make the damn things because they're slow as all hell. I'm sure there's something there. Although I've seen very few people talk about it, so I'm not entirely sure. Interesting. What are we selling? How have we been doing on sales then for the last so while? Okay, well, we sold 271,000 of the stuff we listed. So we are... What server do I play on? Draenor. Pretty much entirely Draenor now. It's an AFK walk away from the computer kind of thing. I saved money whilst milling. Yeah, I guess this is always the balance, right? With these AFK crafts, it's that, well, if you got shit to do IRL and you're reasonable enough at multitasking, set something up, press it to go, and come back 10 minutes later. Once you've hoovered the bedroom, or you've, I don't know, changed the kid's diaper or whatever you got to do, you know. Get some IRL stuff done in between. Bit of multitasking, never hurt nobody. Or, do whatever.
I
right.
knew you would like my wares.
Where were we? We were actually, I was looking, we started off all of this by taking, and this goes to show, right, that a lot of my video ideas come from, like, we went down a rabbit hole here very quickly. One little post on WoW Economy all of a sudden led us into a rabbit hole where we ended up at Decayed Wildercloth somehow. I don't know how it works, but either way, to talk about this a little bit more so, cool, like it. I'm wondering if it's worth doing a quick video on that, to be honest. I think letting the people know, because like I said, the knock-on effect of this could be pretty big on crafters. As if you are struggling to get those last points, maybe camping some public orders today may not be the worst idea. So much so, I'm very tempted to have a little bit of a look at that myself, So I've clearly got some professions that are not properly leveled up. Small apartments, awesome for that kind of goal making. Yeah, just kind of, set it and go. Works nicely. This dude's got enchanting, which is pretty well leveled up. In fact, I think enchanting's maxed on this dude. Tour the trading post, a new quest. All right, sure. Enchanting's maxed on this. Yeah, it might be time to play with blacksmithing, Oh, hello, what's this? Simulate... What? This is new. Simulate specialization info. Speciality smithing, hammer control, safety smithing, smelting, pointing... What? What is this? Is it... Just because I've got 199 blacksmithing knowledge that I haven't spent. Click the simulation box mode. Simulation mode. Simulate knowledge distribution. Oh, I see. So you can... it simulates... Oh, okay. If I put points into here, or here, this is what's gonna happen. Ah, clever. Clever. Handy little tool to have. Another little win. Anybody else having issues with the number of craft orders not working correctly? Yeah, people have been, since they changed it down to 4, it's been doing some real weird and wacky things. The actual truth behind the matter is, though, it's been busted for a long time. But when everybody had 20, nobody really cared. Now people can only have 4 and can only refresh like 1 a day. All of a sudden, people care when it takes 2 off you, because that's then mighty annoying. Yeah, there's clearly some issues with it. Polished product, really well polished product. Looking at blacksmithing, my question becomes very quickly: what do I want to do with blacksmithing? These are alts. Alts are absolutely, definitely, 100% not going to be standing around spamming trade chat all day, because I refuse to do that on my main. But what could be kind of good for my blacksmith is to go elbow deep into profession tools, because blacksmithing makes so many profession tools. They make their own profession tool, assuming we go get the recipe, that is. They make, that's the basic blacksmithing tool. They make their own toolbox as well. They make my leatherworking knives, my leatherworking tool. That could be a very handy recipe to have, so that I can make my own leatherworking tool at top quality. Or recraft the one I already have, I should say, more importantly. Both the tool and the knife, the leatherworking accessory. I think I've got one of these at max anyway. The needle set, what's this for? Tailoring. We've not played with tailoring much, but when we do, that would be very handy to have. These are all renowned locked. They're quite high renowned locked as well. 18, what's that? 19 with Valdraken. Ugh, ouch. 19 with Valdraken, with 15 on this alt. Okay, well that's not going to be a terrible situation. We still got 100% bonus until we hit 20 with these anyway, so that's not the end of the world. I need to commission somebody to make me 50 sets of each alchemy tool. I forget that you've got so many alts. Who makes the alchemy tool? Your characters are all on Taran Mill, right? You need to speak to Mr. Zanzaful. He's probably got the ability to do something like that. The pickaxe for my miner. Handy one to have, for sure. Weaponsmithing, axe pixes, and pole arms. I might just go profession tools. I don't know. You see, my temptation is very much like... it's another one. You can't do everything, right? My temptation is very much to go the same direction as I have with my other professions, which is just making things like alloys like a machine, right? It's probably very late in the day to be trying to do any of this, because people will have min-maxed the crap out of it anyway. But I know blacksmithing is one where... and you guys will correct me if I'm wrong on this, blacksmithing is one of the professions where being the right racial doesn't matter, because it doesn't push you into the 5% hidden craft value. It doesn't matter what you do. But making obsidian seared alloys... Are these going to be profitable if we zerg to max on these? Be greedy, get the tools you need first. Yeah, you could be right that considering it's an alt, being greedy is maybe not the worst idea. He's a bit intimidating. Zanzafal's a softie. You just got to poke him. He's fine. That's assuming he has a scribe. I'm not even sure if he does. He seems to do... His tailor is literally all I see him do, to be honest. Correct, but if you go inspiration with alloys, you'll want to get the Black Dragon Touched Hammer, which needs level 70. That's alright, I'm level 70. All my alts are level 70. He gives me cool kid vibes and I'm sat at the nerd table. It's alright. It's okay if you own the nerd table though. It's fine. You'll be fine. Yeah, you might be right. Maybe I should go a little bit greedy first. Maybe go weapons. Weapons, because if we go weaponsmithing, right? Is it within weaponsmithing? Maces, hammers, axe, picks, and pole arms. Long blades. Improve at making short-bladed weapons and tools. So I'm guessing it's in here we learn Primal Molten Short Blade. Well, all we do know is hammer control. Hammer control at max. 30, 60, 90 points have got to go into here. Just no questions asked. No questions asked, you want to max out hammer control. Straight, flat skill. 30 points plus any bonuses. 33, 37, 40. Yeah, flat 40. Anywhere bonus skill, guaranteed. Poignant plans for inspiration, maxed, becomes relatively mandatory as well. And then safety smithing. If you're going to be crafting anything, you might as well be stacking resourcefulness. So there's 90 points. We've got 200 to spend. 90 is mandatory. From then on, I have the choice to go speciality smithing. Let's take a little bit of a deeper look into this. Non-martial goods? What the hell is non-martial goods? Such as tools and alloys. Okay, so this is actually the one I do want. So we're going to throw 40 points in here almost instantly, I would suspect. Then we can dive into smelting. Become an expert at smelting alloys and other special reagents. Gain +1 skill point in this. Multi-craft when smelting alloys and other reagents. Damn, that one is also... Okay, if we're going the alloys route, we have to go these two. And then we have to go these two. I'm going to be in the same sort of situation as I think I am with... I'm going to be stuck in the same situation that maxing these two out is probably viable, but then I've got nothing going on over here. Armor smithing, I just don't think I'm going to pay any attention to, truth be told. Whilst the fact that this character is a plate-wearing prop paladin, making my own armor would make a lot of sense. But I like gold. How do you have 199 points? Yeah, I've not spent any. I've been collecting them the entire expansion and I've not spent any. My goal throughout Dragonflight is, considering knowledge points are somewhat time gated, I wanted to make sure that I'm acquiring them even if I'm not using them. Because every week that goes past that you don't get them, that's an extra week that you're going to have to spend getting them at some other point, you know? It's banked effort as far as I'm concerned. And when the time comes to spend them, I can spend them. Do we, though? Do we need... where's the big boy axe? Where's Black Dragon Touched Hammer? Requires the Earth Warder's Forge. Where the hell is this? Oh, that's just their regular forge. Alright, fine. When inspired, increase the skill provided by Dragon Owl's crafts by 15%. Ah, clever. That means we are absolutely going to need that then. Not maxing the hammer control, at least with that many points, gives me OCD. Well, yeah, like I said, the very first thing.
Profit together.
Manthieus VoD.
Doppelbock, thank you very much with the Prime. Welcome in. Good morning to you. 4 months now. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, hammer control is going to be maxed by default. Just there's no questions asked about it. In fact, it's so mandatory that we just do it because there's no questions asked about this. You absolutely have to have this maxed. There's 30 points in that. We unlock that. We go bish bash bosh. In you go. And then a bit of safety smithing in there and all. No point doing anything without that maxed. Boom. 90 points. Job done. The question is do we go speciality smithing and go the smelting route? Tool smithing is one that appeals to me greatly. Skill when crafting profession tools and accessories. Inspiration when crafting profession tools and accessories. Skill again. Quenching fluid finishing reagent with plans for profession tools and accessories. I don't know what quenching fluid finishing reagent does. Quenching fluid finishing reagent. Where is it? Oh, we don't even make it. We just have the ability to use it. Then I don't know. Who makes that then? Quenching fluid. That sounds like an engineer thing. It's not about the extra inspiration when proc, but it also gives plus 152 skill, e.g. inspiration, while the regular blue tool is 110. Oh, I see, right, yeah. Current crafting system is so new player unfriendly. One needs weeks to even come close to profit, and by the time the old players will get even more points. Yeah, but what you're also missing to understand there is the fact that once players have done something like this, it doesn't matter how many points the player gets. They can never be better than this. So, you know, once you've regular players who are consistent with this hit the ceiling, right? You can't go past that ceiling. Sure, people who are coming into it can slowly catch up, and they'll also meet those players at the ceiling. It's not so much of a catch-up system as it prevents people from getting too far ahead. Now, obviously, you know, the knowledge points that player has obtained is going to then unlock more markets for them. So they then have options in terms of market. But every fully fledged market to dive into probably takes 100 plus knowledge points on top of like the basics, right? So there's not strictly a need for catch up, because there's this ceiling where you get to a point where you just can't be any better. It's not an ever growing system. If it was an ever growing system, yeah, you'd have problems that people would get left behind, and if you miss just a week, then you're just scuffed. but it's not an ever expanding system. It's capped. And so when you know, people who do it first get the benefits of doing it first, they hit the cap, they hit the ceiling, and over time, people who are late to the party will meet them at the roof, right? They'll meet them at the ceiling, and they'll be on an equal level playing field. They won't have been able to make huge piles of gold in the run up to it, but that was their choice. They chose to get to the party late. You can only get early bird profits if you are the early bird. Armor smithing, I think I just write off armor smithing. I don't think I'm going to be doing anything armor smithing. My question is do I go speciality now or do I go weapon smithing now? Go alloys. It makes a lot of sense to me to go alloys because it's region-wide auction house. You know, you craft stuff when it's profitable, you sell stuff when it's profitable. There's nothing, I suppose I can go alloys, I could specialize into alloys. There's nothing stopping me getting the recipes, I think, for most of the tools that are available to me. That's just a drop. That requires weaponsmithing, maces and hammers, which I don't strictly need if I get the big boy one. If I get the big boy one, it's easy game, right? The toolbox, speciality smithing, tool smithing, which is okay, which is the one I'm more tempted to go with anyway. Reputation. The pickaxe is going to require us to go into weaponsmithing a touch, which is annoying. Reputation. So many of them actually come from reputation that I don't strictly need to worry. Okay, yeah, I can get the best of both worlds here. If I go smelting alloys, I'll still be reasonably good at making these. And I'll be good enough at crafting these that I can throw inspiration proc at it. A few recrafts will get them to quality 5 for my alts. Easy game. You don't have to spend many points in weapons because the hammer gives the inspiration boost that you need. Isn't this the trick to the Master's Hammer is the one that's the trick to getting from 61 to 100, right? Doesn't this give skill points like nearly all the way? Various specializations upon learning to use the Master's Hammer. This is then only unlocked, I guess. Only unlocked via, I would guess, capping one of these, right? Master's Hammer. Yeah, you've got to cap one of these to get the Master's Hammer, which could be 30, 40, 50 points. I don't particularly want to spend 50 points just to get a recipe that will push me to 100. But not doing that is going to mean that I'm going to have to scamaz a bunch of orders to get the levels. Okay. Because I don't think I'm going to want to get that. 50 points to unlock this. It's spend 50 points unlocking this or actually do some crafting orders. That's the decision. The 50 spec points, I would be better off spending them now in here somewhere. Bladed weaponsmithing increases skill towards leatherworking tools. Maces increases hammer. Axe increases pickaxe skill. I reckon if I can get to quality 4, the difficulty on these is not outrageous. The difficulty, 400 recipe difficulty. Why is the leatherworking knife 425? That seems a little unfair. Okay, 400, 425. I reckon getting to... Inspiration is going to give us a bonus 100 skill. So if we can get to 3... okay. I don't need quality 5 everywhere. I only need quality 4. Because min-maxing these is neither here nor there. I know I'm thinking this through probably a lot more than I should do, but... plus the bonus from the Dragon Hammer. Yeah, we need to just go get that, don't we? The extra 15% skill is a boom. Okay. Okay, so if we're gonna go making these more efficiently, for starters, how the hell do I get this? A head for metal in the Waking Shores. Infurious alloy, learnt from the purchasable on the auction house. Genius. Let's go see what recipes we can buy. Gold making stream. Time to spend gold. Recipes, blacksmithing. Uncollected only. Okay. Wow. Wow. Look how many recipes I don't have for blacksmithing. That's offensive. I guess I start at the bottom and I work my way up. That's actually madness. I know these aren't all Dragonflight ones. I don't care. If I don't have a recipe, I need a recipe. Welcome to the world of Draenor, where everything is basically free. I can't believe there's so many recipes here. And they're all so cheap. Why is nobody doing shenanigans on these? Okay, let's start with those. Make sure I don't buy any duplicates. Look at all of the patterns. Hang on, we got 30k worth of stuff in here. What did we sell? A few days ago, I sold some frozen writ enchants. Well, well, well. What? Why is I... Oh, these stupid things. It's really annoying that it opens one of those and gets stuck. There we go. Oh, I got the scum at the bottom of the coffee cup. Yuck. I haven't got all the things on, so it's not making lots of boobity beeps. But it's all good. This is because, actually, once upon a time, I, for some unknown reason, dropped blacksmithing. And I've regretted that decision since a matter of minutes after I did it. Because I lost so many recipes. An ungodly amount of recipes. One day I'll actually craft some of this stuff, and we'll see what. Probably when we get more into the long tail of the expansion, we'll do some crafted transmog experiment. I've almost in a. Hang on now. Why does it say? Almost to try and debunk the theory more than anything else. I want to do a little bit of a test on crafted transmog. Craft a bunch of everything. You know, give myself like 1 million gold and see how quickly we can either spend it or lose it. I guess. Did I just buy this? What did I just buy? I think I just bought that one. Spiked Death Dealers, Iron Counterweight. Now we're getting into the PvP gear, which I probably should have bought a long time ago. Watching you really does make me feel better about how I play. The constant squirrels are all over the place. Spectral squirrels are like... I get grabbed by stuff all the time. It's why I never finish anything. is the honest truth. I quite genuinely completely forget what I'm doing half the time and end up doing something completely different. Silvered bronze breastplate, Infurious Helm of Vengeance, Hardcore and Battle. Literally only one. Literally only one. Foundation of Courage. Oh no, where did we get to? Where's it gone? Foundation of Courage. Here we go. Jade Serpent Blade. Golden Scale Leggings. Okay. Okay, that's enough for now. That's enough for now. We're spending way too much. Bought. Let's grab those. New GF just started playing WoW to play with me. Really likes doing herbalism and mining. Inspired by your YouTube video, actually. And I just adore seeing baby goal makers be like, oh, wow, I made 20k today. Nice. Nice. Hey, I'm glad it works. You have to start with farming to begin with. You have to do it. So if you can both start with farming and enjoy it at the same time, win-win. Cannot ask for more. Got the weather machine? Hey, you're welcome. Oh, I forgot Twitch drops are on. I forgot that was a thing. I think what is it? It's 4 hours, right? Is it 4 hours? Yeah, it's 4 hours. I'll try my best to stream for at least 4 hours a day over the next few days, just to give people a solid opportunity. It doesn't have to be my stream, though, by the way. It's any World of Warcraft stream, so... Or any World of Warcraft streamer who has the drops enabled. To be a little bit more accurate. Right, I think now if we take a look, we're probably getting into expensive territory, I reckon.
Charmed.
First time she empowered a molten ore, got lit on fire, totally panicked. Oh my god, I'm on fire. Then used ice block and and the smirk laugh. Mage then. Interesting choice for a first character. Pain in the ass to level. I both love and I both hate my mage at the same time. I enjoy the mage playstyle in like instanced content. But leveling it, world quests, open world stuff on a mage just makes my brain hurt. Okay, what do I think my limit will be? At what point should I stop spending gold on patterns, do we think? What is a Masterwork Stormhammer and why is it 2 million gold? Fellsteel Longblade. 680k. Damn. About 5,000 gold ago? Maybe. Look, if you make lots of gold, you gotta spend it. Because then it gives you the incentive to make it back again. And one day, I'll craft all of this stuff. One day. Not today, but one day. You know, the smart people out there would probably try and, you know, make sure that I'm not getting scammed on any of these prices. But at the same time, I'm not that bothered. People like to collect transmog. I like to collect patterns. Although that's outrageously expensive. This thing should be like 200 gold. Oops. Whatever. Somebody out there today is going to be making a bucket off me. Did I just buy that one? I think I just bought that one, right? This is the point where I really don't want to buy the same thing twice. I think I just bought that one. Golden scale shoulders. We'll have these. Golden scale boots. Crimson... Oh, we still have Crimson Combatant stuff that we're missing. That's because somebody's... Why do I have a sneaky suspicion somebody's watching and somebody's like 3 steps ahead of me? Okay, we've hit 5 figures now. I think hitting 5 figures is where we stop buying the old stuff. If there's anything new, if there's anything current expansion, I might consider it, but Allied Chestplate of Generosity. This is a new one, 20k. Is that worth 20k? I mean, it's an appearance, isn't it? It's yoink. Allied chestplate of summoning. Allied wrist guards of companionship, 30k. It's current content. 30k, sure. Frostfire leg guards of preparation. Are these current? These are current. We'll have one of those then. Any more for any more? Black Dragon touched hammer. I can just buy it for 70k. If I can just buy it for 70k, why the hell would I go out and try and get the damn thing? How easy is this thing to get? Somebody's just buying the recipes and relisting them 3 items ahead of you like an old Looney Tunes train track. Yeah, it feels that way. I mean, I could just go get it, or I could just buy one, right? Problem solved. Problem solved. Unstable Frostfire belt. Oh, that's the current one and all. It's also expensive. Ah, whatever. It's only gold. Where did we get to? Unstable Frostfire. Alvin the Anvil, 200k. Oh, I'm not paying 200k for a stupid pet plan. That's bananas. How do you get this then? Why are they so expensive? The Frostfire belt is bis for a couple of plate wearers. Oh, well, I might actually craft a few then. Took me about 4 kills for the pattern. Just parked my ult there in the early days. Okay. I heard you talking about the crafted transmog market. I used to take the student approach and just craft everything. I got sales, but not enough to justify how long it took to manage the inventory. Now I take a more targeted approach and only craft items above a certain profit threshold and sales rate. Much more manageable, and I still make a decent side goal. Some opportunity for me to do a touch of sellout here. My TSM profile that's available to Patreons is fully customized to only craft stuff above a certain threshold. It's entirely designed with that targeted approach. So much so that some people have used it, they've pressed the button and they've been like, why is it only telling me to craft like 3 things? And my answer is that they're the only 3 things you should be crafting. Because yes, the initial student approach of just craft everything might get you going, but you're going to live at the auction house. Genuinely, you will live at the auction house and you'll spend so much time buying random ass materials. You just have, it's just, the efficiency of it's really poor. I don't think I can easily showcase it right now because I don't think I've got the right profile to hand, or do I? Oh, I do. I can, so for example, in here, all of the old professions are subcategorized out, and the operation that's attached to these is designed so that it will only craft the stuff. I can't remember the exact customization of it, but it will only craft the stuff that it makes sense to craft. TSM's having a bit of a fit with some of the items, though. Maybe we need a reload before it'll work properly. Alvin recipe, only 200k there. It's 750k on Kazakh. Bought mine for 400k because I got tired of camping the rare with my 2 blacksmiths. I mean, it'll be practically free by the end of the expansion, but... blacksmithing... So, for example, not that TSM is super up to speed right now, but if we go... restock groups. if we go restock just blacksmithing, the likelihood is it won't actually tell me to restock all that much. 58 groups are selected, 770 items. My groups contain every single recipe in the game up until Dragonflight. I've not updated them for Dragonflight yet, but restock groups. Now this might crash. Oh, it's actually not. That's handy. Now it has a list of stuff that is at least somewhat sensible to still craft, based on both sell rate and profit. It takes both into consideration. So now we have a list of stuff to make that is actually a little bit more targeted and a little bit more sensible to craft and sell. There's a lot of stuff in here, and a lot of things like the sharpening stones and things, it also tells you to make them based upon like sale rates. Now, you could save yourself a monstrous amount of time by just not making some of these. Just like 1,297 dense sharpening stones, probably not sensible, considering there's only like a 13 silver profit potentially on each one. So you can prune the list a little bit. Taking off these mass craft items will help for sure. But now we can see there's a curated list. Now, obviously, it's only going to show you recipes that you actually have, but there's 59 items here with a crafting cost of a little over 11,000 gold, but an estimated profit of 66k, and it's only going to take you a few minutes to craft them. Now, in theory, it's going to take you a little bit longer to actually gather all of the materials, but you could equally quite quickly get most of this just off the auction house now. Open task list for this. Let's have a little bit of a look what we have. Buy most of it from the auction house.
Well then, let us proceed.
We can go. The auction house is open. Why does it not say that the auction house is not open?
There is a
Close it, open it up again.
And it is life.
Okay, you have to be on browse first, of course you do. Scan all. Even I'm a little out of practice with doing this. Welcome to the world of spectral squirrels. Now, the thing is, at the moment, to spend 10k on materials to potentially make 60k is great. If you can get access to the materials you need quite quickly and easily. Let's see how much of this we can do. I in no way, shape or form intended for this to be a thing, but we're doing it anyway. TSM back to basics. I can help with this. Just don't ask about quality crafts and variations. Welcome in, Gumdrops. Good to see you, my man. Yeah, a bit of a... if nothing else, I wanted to quickly test out my profile to see if it still works the way I suspect it to work. Actually, this is a lot smoother than I expected it to be.
Let's make sweet profit together.
Hey.
Gio Maro, thank you very much for the Prime. Welcome in. Thank you very much. Don't know why it skipped halfway down the list, but it did. I am, very quickly glancing to see that there's no funny business going on with any of the materials. But the blessing of the region-wide auction house is that this process is actually mostly guaranteed to get you some pretty cheap stuff. And the theory goes is that if it's not cheap enough, just don't buy it. Simple as. What am I crafting here? I got caught in a... I got caught by... Basically, I'm crafting some old transmog with blacksmithing just to showcase what my TSM profile does. And more importantly, to check that it still does what I suspect it does, which is create a list of items for you that are actually worth crafting and selling, rather than just everything that says, hey, this has a bajillion profit to it. Please craft me and then spend the next 6 years trying to sell it, which is the catch for many people. Have you been relegated to another room already? No, I'm trying out a few different locations. We're still in the same studio. We were over there for the last few days. I've switched us round. I want to see how I feel here. This has the advantage of not having window. There's no window behind me. Over there, there's a small little window that was blinding me with every time the sun came past, even with the blinds, because there's those little skinny gaps in the blinds. With a blank canvas of a room to play with, I wanted to test a few spots out to see just where makes sense to be. And then once I've decided this feels like home, then I'll build the rest of the studio around it. Oh, what's it doing here? It's having a hiccup. Why is it having a hiccup on iron bars? How many does it claim we need? 36? Okay, maybe we've done too much in one go. Let's open it up again.
Defend itself.
Let's give it another scan. Maybe it's timed out. Contains auctions above your material value. Oh, that's handy to know. But not by much. Not by much. So we'll buy them either way. Yes, I'm sure. Hey, I like the double confirmation there, by the way. Contains auctions above your material value. You know, this is now sort of saying, oi, stop. These materials are more expensive than what we calculated them to be. Meaning that you're now cutting into the advertised profit. Are you sure you want to do this? And considering we got so much of the other stuff way below, yes, I'm sure. Click the button. Boom. Buys them. Copper bars. Contains auctions above your material value. By how much? Only 104%. So still pretty nice. It should have a threshold for the double confirmation. It shows on 100%, which gets annoying. With old stuff, it's probably smart to do it this way, though, either way. I like this. Unit price, total price, quantity that you're buying. What happens if I let this expire? Oh, it just goes back. Ah, okay. Yeah, I actually quite like that. Arcanite bars. We're up to 110. Not the worst case scenario. You know, if all of a sudden it said 1,000, you're like, oh, hang on, I'm being skamazed here. Now these are starting to get a little, but you know, 120% on a 20, you know, a 20 gold item. I don't care. Let's just do it. Thorum bars, pretty expensive at the moment, but sure. We have a built-in. I think it's 30%. It might even be, I can't remember how I've set my profile up. It might even be greater than 30% minimum profit. I think it might be set to 50%. If you're not making at least 50% profit, it just won't tell you to craft it, I think. Because it's old shit, right? You're not likely to sell this stuff super quickly.
There is a universal justice.
How the hell did I manage to get into doing this right now? Let me... I've got about 20 pairs of these flipping boots. Let me just disenchant a bunch of these boots. Just prevents the scroll wheel spam mistakes. That's true. That's true. I've never actually used the scroll wheel for buying stuff, though. I know players who have and have been bitten by it. It's a nice to have, but not something I would rather take a little bit extra time and make sure I'm buying what I think I'm buying. These are all the Trailblazer scale boots I've made or placed orders for over the weeks for my leatherworker. Which I don't technically need to do, but I'll use the shards at some point. Is this just all trash? Okay, we've got a lot of trash on the go here. Let's clean out.
I have many lucky doos you like. Good fortune
Okay.
to our friends.
We should now have a laundry list of items to pick up. Oh, yeah, more recipes. I forgot I bought recipes. There's some big recipes in there as well. Got to skedaddle to work. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Thanks for stopping by, Drizzling Rose. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Have a good day. Oh, these are just, okay. We can use the default UI to delete all of these, right? What? Where's the delete button? Why is there not a cross here? What add-on is it that puts a cross there that I don't have on? Postal does the... Is it Postal that does the delete button? Add-ons... How and why do I not have Postal on? Ah, you're right. Haha! Success. Spam that button. Beautiful. Beautiful. Right. Now... What? Sure. Now, we need to... What do we need to do? What else have we got on our little list of things to do? Make a bunch of stuff, alright? Make a bunch of stuff. Craft some intermediates, some grinding stones. Hang on, I swear I just made these. I'll let it do its thing. Can't believe it's February already. I know, it was a bit of a surprise to me. January absolutely flew past for me. I accidentally went 2 weeks without making a YouTube video because I was just so busy IRL. January absolutely disappeared in a blink of an eye. Time flies when you're getting older. Well, unfortunately, I also think that's half of it. I am not a spring chicken anymore. We need to buy some vendor items. Mr. Gumdrops, if you're still knocking about. One thing that I've always wanted with the gathering thing is when it says buy it from a vendor, can you click a button and it tell you where to go? Even if it means you need to copy whatever the hell it is that Zygor does to be able to achieve it. Navigating me to the vendor that sells the thing would be incredibly helpful, especially with some of this old stuff that you just, don't easily remember which vendor sells what. Now, with experience, but it'd be really nice if there was a button or you could just shift click on an item or something, and it gives you build it in with like TomTom or something. Because the reality is for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 materials, the brain power it takes me to work out where all of these come from, you know how close I am to just buying them off the auction house because I'm standing right next to it? Whereas if I could click a button that actually navigates me to the right vendor, doesn't strictly need to be the cheapest vendor, but just a vendor that is known to sell them. Secondly, because I think that would also help massively with people having incorrect vendor values for items, if it's an easy way for players to, check back with that vendor from time to time, just to refresh the TSM database. We've discussed that before. There's a few ways to do that. And what you just said is also planned in terms of skip this source if you just want to buy it from the auction house. Yeah, I'd be... Flexibility is crucial for me. In this scenario, I am actually just going to buy all of these off the auction house because I can't be bothered to work out where they come from. And on the basis that they're vendor mats, they're probably incredibly close. And the difference in price between the auction house and a vendor item... Oh, and I see, once again, if I could shift click on the item and it just goes straight into here, would also be very handy. Can I do it from this way? No. Fox flower flux. Vendor sell price 1 gold. Yeah, see, somebody's going to get themselves a bargain because I can't be bothered to work out where to buy this from. Frozen orbs. These are about 60 gold a piece by default. One of those. Green dye. One of those. You see, being at the auction house and the material costing 2 silver, it's actually a terrible idea to even go to the vendor in the first place. The time it takes you to go to the vendor far outweighs the saving you would make because there just isn't any. Which is why, in a weird way, actually buying vendor mats off the auction house is not always a terrible idea.
Now, back to my garden.
Manthieus gone full spending mode again. Yeah. Spending the big bucks there, look. Spending the big bucks. Right, we probably need to actually be near an anvil to craft a few bits and pieces. Open blacksmithing again. There's our materials. There's our list of stuff. Craft next. Go. Requires black anvil. Hello? Well, that's not a great start, is it? Lord. Okay. A skip button. We need a skip button. Absolutely need a skip button. Skip craft, move on to the next one. Now I'm going to have to click each and every one manually because the one at the top requires a special place to craft it. Take it off the list for now. And then forget about it. We need a skip button. Skip this item. Move on to next. Oh my god, you know what's gross? Half of these we're crafting we need the appearance for in the first place. Oops. It told us to make copper plate boots. You know why it's told us to make copper plate boots, right? Because it's now a white transmog item. That's quite funny. Do you have drops enabled for the new toy? I do indeed. I do indeed. Drops are on all day. Oh my god, look how many of these items I actually need to learn the appearance for. That's embarrassing. Now, as far as, you know, gold per hour goes, this is probably not all that lucrative. But the reality is when you're crafting old stuff like this, you're not really too concerned with gold per hour, because the initial crafting time is probably going to be quite lengthy. But the reality is that the profit margin on this should be what makes it attractive to do. You should, for the most part, make such a high profit margin on every single one of these things that then eventually sells, that far outweighs the need to worry too much about gold per hour. If you manage to sell it. Well, that's also another thing, right? The reason you have to strive for such a high actual profit margin is because you may only actually ever sell a fraction of this unless you happen to play on a big server. And then even if you do play on a big server, there's still only a, you know, only takes a few other people to do the same. But at least for the most part, a huge percentage of all of this stuff that we're crafting right now is still server specific. Adamantite sharpening stones, for example, I'm not entirely sure why it's suggesting we craft quite so many of these. But then again, 22 of them seem to sell a day according to TSM. The competition on these is going to be basically none. The likelihood is the 22 that sell every day is people that are trying to flip them.
Let's make sweet, sweet profit together.
So I guess we'll see. If If they sell, they sell. Saranuva, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for the Prime. Yeah, these again are also things that I should have probably taken off the list, but since I bought the materials to make them, we'll throw them up either way. I'm actually quite surprised, pleasantly surprised, that this TSM profile still works. I can't remember what the actual thresholds were on stuff, though. What's been